Hey guys, so I wanted to show you the progress that is happening right now. So you already know that I've tried different ways in the greenhouse this year, just kind of a test plot. So the tomatoes in the straw bales are not happy at all, and I don't know if that's because of frost or because they just don't like the straw bale, and I'm okay with that. The onions in the straw bale are doing just fine. The herbs in boxes inside are doing just fine. I watered them about every 1.5 weeks. And then I wanted to explain to you the difference between the different boxes and their different appearance. And again, this is a test garden. This is not, of course we're trying to get food out of it, but also I'm trying to learn what they like and what they don't like. So these tomatoes look pretty good. They've been out here for a bit. That tomato does not look as good. They are planted in different soil mediums. Let's see if I can remember which ones. This one was a kelp alfalfa fertilizer. This one is a more commercial fertilizer. I am trying really hard to tell the difference between the different potting mixtures. But hands down, the ones that have done the best have been the ones that I put wool in the bottom of, dirty wool. That one over there with the sad basil, that one I put potting soil in and nothing underneath it. What the wool or the straw or the hay does is it retains water in the bottom and it gives the bacteria carbon to eat, and it just retains the water a whole lot better than just plain potting soil. So these are, you know, I'm kind of thinking that these are cutting celery, but then I think again and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure those are alpine strawberries. I don't know which they are now. They could be cutting celery, they could be strawberries. I just don't remember. Anyway, everything out here is doing pretty well with the exception of a few of the tomatoes that are a little bit yellow, maybe need some iron. Let's see, that box in there I need to water. Can you see what I'm looking at? That one there needs watered again. I haven't watered it for a week. Could have been longer than that. Kohlrabi's doing good. I'm waiting for my fan to switch on. I just want to make sure that it is going to switch on. So we have a thermometer up there and one up there that I can see from the house to see if it's getting too hot in here. And the quail have started laying. Yesterday I came in and immediately stepped on an egg. If I can find one while I'm out here, I'll show it to you. Okay, so we have daikon radish, comfrey, Austrian winter peas, some roses that I stuck in potatoes. What else do I have out here? Some Swiss chard and New Zealand spinach. Over here we have valerian, butterbur, comfrey, daikon radish, all sorts of fun things. I had to add fertilizer to these because my mom uses and reuses the dirt. She gave it to me in the self-watering containers, and I've had to use some fertilizer because the soil just gets old. And so I'm kind of watching those just because the soil is old. And compost would have been a better option, but I didn't have any aged compost. I go through my rabbit manure so quickly that it doesn't get a chance to age. So the other thing I wanted to point out is that those that are higher up in the air, that are sensitive, do much worse than those that are low down to the ground. I don't want fertilizer on your leaves. These ones that have been out here the longest, I'm kind of thinking that this yellow is partially transplant shock because these are the oldest ones and they look super good and green. And so pretty happy about that. My mother-in-law came out and did these two boxes. This one is carrots, this one's is beans and beets. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about it. It looks good. I'm waiting for that fan to turn on. It should turn on. The peppers look good down here. They had a little bit of an unhappy night the first night. I had them up here And I came out and they were quite wilted. I'm like, oh, they don't like the high altitude. They want to be down on the ground. Same thing happened with those tomatoes over there. So, and these ones are not in, they don't have wool underneath them as an absorptive medium. So I don't know if they'll do as well, but we'll see. Waiting for that fan to turn on. Mr. Dirt asked me to turn it up to medium just in case. Now I'm going to go look at my thermostat and make sure that I don't have it set too low. Or that I don't have it set too high. Yeah, I have it set at 75, so it should. Because it says 80 back there. Let's see if it gets too cold in here. It's supposed to be in the... It's going to be a little harder to close now. I don't want it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at 78. Mr. Dirt was initially, sorry, I'll try and keep the video on what I'm actually doing. Mr. Dirt was initially a little bit concerned that we would have too much of a temperature swing. That we would have too much of a temperature swing with the fan being back there and the vents being up here, that it would be too hot over there and not hot enough over here to make it turn on. So it looks like that's happening just a little bit. Yes, I hear you. You need water. That's why you're talking to me. Don't forget that we need water. There we go. Is that better? Okay, so I could look around for eggs right now. But I don't see any. And it's lovely to watch the little guys starting to eat stuff. They really like the alfalfa. And it really is hard that I keep stepping on the eggs. Okay. Oh, there's one. Can you see it? Okay, so we found one for you guys to see. Okay, I'm going to turn this off and get that one box watered. Everything else out here looks fine.